Yep, this season, how would you rate our transfer window so far out of 10? What would it take in the remaining part of the transfer window to bring it up to a 10?
Who are you asking?
You, Paul.
You.
Oh, right. Well, I'm marking it out of 10 at the moment. Well, considering that I've always said that wing backs are the priority, because that's where the source of creativity will come from in this team, and the fact we need to reinforce our centre back positions. Basuma, great, good signing. It's all hindsight, of course. Basuma, potentially good signing. Perisic, experienced signing, and Forster, a sensible signing. I'd say 5. I'd say
5 so far.
4 or 5, yeah.
Well, if we finish the transfer window as we are right now, it still stays as a 5.
If it finishes this way, I'd go lower, mate.
I said 4. I said 4 already, Bob.
4 or 5, yeah. I'd go if it finishes right, and that wasn't my mindset. I'd go 4, 5, mate. Mate, the wing backs should be out.
No, I get that. No, I understand.
For 3 weeks.
If we're only 3 weeks into the window, given that there's still 8 weeks left, are you still saying that as of right now?
As of right now, yeah,
it's
5.
still only a 5.
Yeah. We can't because then you asking how do I rate the transfer window right now, and I can only judge it by where I feel we need to strengthen and what we need. We've got a good midfielder in. We've got a good left wing back / right wing back / midfielder, an experienced player, and a sensible one in Forster, and a very young goalkeeper, not counting him, of course. For me, it's a 5, man. For me, it's a 5. If it ends like this, it'd be a 3 or a 4.
Yeah,
we've not done what we need to. So
I think like, to give the window that's only been open for a couple of weeks, and to sign the 3 players we've got, to give it a 5 thus far. If you was, I'd say as of so far, for me, it's like a 7 or an 8.
Right now,
different question though, aren't you?
At this, I'm not asking the question. It's the same question. It's 2 different segments to it. I don't think Kuba clarified it in the start. It was, what would you give it up to now so far with what we've done, given how much space there is in the window? But for now, if we finish the season with what we've done, I agree with you. It's like a 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10. But
still 4, Sean.
But to have got what we've done so far
still
now,
4.
I think it's a 7 out of 10 to have got.
No way. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
At this stage
still
in
4.
the window.
Still 4. Sean, we don't know what's going to happen.
So you can't.
But you can't. Sean, you can't sit here and say that we're going to go and sign 5 more players. At this moment. Hold on. Your argument doesn't make sense, right?
It does.
Because at this, it doesn't. At this moment, we've only signed 3 players.
Yeah.
If the window finishes exactly how it is right now,
then it becomes
a 4,
a 3. Right? Then it becomes a 3.
You can't base it. You can't base it on the fact that we might sign 5 more players. You can't. That's impossible. No one knows how many players we're going to sign.
I'm not saying that. I'm
yeah,
saying
you are.
No, I'm not. I'm saying as of right now, for me, it's a 7 out of 10 for where we are in the window. However, as time goes on,
that statement itself is saying where we are in the window based upon that we're going to sign players.
No, it's not. It's based upon what we've done thus far.
So that's a 4. That's a 4.
It's a 4.
It's a 4.
That's
crazy, Sean. Man.
No,
that's a 4.
You guys are like deliberately trying to wind me up this morning.
Sean, it's a 4.
It's a 1. It's a 1.
This is fucking infuriating. No, as of right, for this stage.
Speak, right? I've got to jump off the laptop.
All right. Cheers, boss. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Please join Ben Hoffman as soon as you finish here, the coffee company, and I'll see you guys Saturday as always. Sean, you're invited on this Saturday if you want to come, mate.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Appreciate that.
See you later.
Cheers, Bob. See you later.
No, I feel like I'm trying to be clear that there's like a timeline, and at this stage, when there's this much space left in the window, and what we've done thus far, especially when you compare it to Arsenal have signed a 21-year-old called Vieira who no one fucking knew before suddenly asked every Arsenal fan is an expert on the Portuguese league, right? Oh, this guy's going to be the next fucking Modric. He's going to be the next Kevin De Bruyne. I had to fucking quickly go on transfer market.
Anyway,
yeah, of course, right? But Tottenham have signed Bissouma. Tottenham have signed the backup goalkeeper. Tottenham have signed Perisic. Tottenham's like, as of thus far, we've done very well given the shape and the size of the window thus far. I'm not saying that if that's it, it stays at a 7. I'm saying for how much time has expired, how much time has elapsed to have got what we've done for this first 3 weeks of the end of the season, it's a 7. However, if it stays like this, obviously it continues to regress down to a 3 if it stays that way.
Sean, your argument makes absolute bollocks, mate. No
it doesn't make
whatsoever.
bollocks. You just don't understand.
Okay.
No, you're not understanding. You're not understanding your own argument. You're literally not understanding your own argument.
I'll use your own reasoning then, Sean.
Go on,
so
go on.
I'm getting fucking heat today, boys.
If at the start of a transfer window, the first day, you don't sign anybody, is that a 0 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10?
What? Say that again?
Or from the first day of a transfer window, if you sign nobody, is that a 0 out of 10 or is that a 10 out of 10?
No, it's a ridiculous. That's a ridiculous.
No, it's not, because you're just saying the same thing.
No, I'm not saying the
you
same
don't have the
thing.
information of the entire window. You can't give it a rating really at that
We're
point.
asking as of right now.
Yeah, it's a 4.
If you ask the question on day 1, I would say it's
right,
a 5
Sean,
out of 10 because no one would expect to have signed anybody right now.
Sean, let's ask you like this: how many players have we signed?
On day 1 of the transfer window, you give it a 10 out of 10, considering it's day 1 of the fucking window. This is not rocket science, boys. You're just being deliberately obtuse. You're being deliberately obtuse. So wind me up. It's ridiculous. This all started with Kuma's redonkulous fucking argument that Harry Kane should never be subbed because fucking what's his name doesn't play the exact same style of football as Harry Kane does.
Yep. Sticking by it.
Yeah, you can stick by it all you want. It's still ridiculous.
That is what Conte does. Either you understand what Conte does with his teams or you don't, Sean.
Yeah,
this is absolutely outrageous. I'm gonna go in the gym. I'm gonna go out of the gym and fucking hit the heavy bag.
I think you might miss, mate.
He's gonna hit the hot dog stool.
He's gonna hit the pole instead.
And if you do miss, would that be a 0 out of 10 session or a 10?
This has been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
He missed by a 2.4 fraction, mate. So it's probably a 4.
I honestly I don't understand what it takes to get an obvious point through to you people. I don't know, whatever. I feel like
make a good point. That'll do it.
Yeah. I don't know, Kuba. I feel like I could deal 1 or 2 from you, my friend. This has been absolutely delightful, fellas. You know what? We should. I think. My man Kyle KPV. It's me. It's KPV has walked off the boxing ring. You want to keep going? Or do you want to? We should wrap it up. It's been 3 hours.
I've got to do an analogy. Supposing you take the car to the garage. Severe problem with the engine block. The mechanic takes the engine block out of the engine, puts it on the floor. Would you go there going, "Oh, he's done a 7 out of 10 job so far on fixing the engine"? It would make no sense, would it? It's meaningless.
That was the question.
Yeah, your question makes no sense. Exactly.
The question makes absolute sense. Where you are, that's like it's like saying if you're on a weight loss program, if you weigh 20 stone, like this fella, and you want to get down to 15 stone,
Sean.
Right? Hold up. Let me finish
before you say anything,
no.
Can you put up Anthony Gray's message?
No, I'm not going to put up Anthony Gray's message until I finish my analogy. Then I'll get to Anthony Gray's message. If you're on a weight loss program, and you've lost a stone in the first month, right? And you ask your coach, "How am I doing so far?" You haven't hit the target yet. You're on a 6-month weight loss program to drop 4 stone. But after 1 month, if you drop the stone, you're doing pretty well. And you ask your coach what you're doing, and your coach tells you you're at a 3 out of 10 because you're still 5 months away. You'd lose all sorts of that's an analogy that makes sense. Answer me that. Riddle me that, boys. Riddle me that.
Okay. So have a competitive team for next season that Conte wants. He requires all of the pieces in place. Therefore, you cannot judge it on only having some of the pieces available at the moment.
Exactly.
The same as you can't judge the mechanic on only having taken the engine out and tinkered with it a bit. You have to wait
still
until the
reflect
job's
on how you're
complete
doing
before you can judge
He's
it.
also
You can't
answering his own
reflect on
argument,
you can't
Kuva.
reflect
He's
on
basically
progress.
saying if you lose a percentage of the weight, you haven't hit your target, which means it's a lower rating, which is like a 3 out of 10, compared to if you lose the whole target weight,
this
right?
man
That's
here,
a 10
where
out
is
of
it?
10.
No.
When you are
because hit
losing
your
weight,
target.
you are getting the benefit instantly. With
Oh my
getting the team ready, you need all of it, or it's a failure.
Where is this?
So therefore, you can
Where's the
judge
comment?
weight loss because you've already got the gain of that losing a stone.
Look,
Whereas only
because
getting
man
half of the
summarised
team
it.
in.
Sean is considering we've done a lot in the first 2 weeks. It's excellent business. Somebody else is saying what Sean is actually saying. Where is it? What Sean is actually saying is that I'm trying to find the point here.
But it's
where we are
excellent
right
business
now.
in hindsight if we sign other players. If we don't sign other players,
God,
it's not excellent business.
For the 85th time, it's where we're at now, not
Yeah,
where we're going to be.
Sean. You
fuck's
cannot judge
sake.
the transfer window. You cannot judge. You cannot judge, right? What we've
This
done
is
because we haven't
mind-numbing.
done the rest of the business yet.
This
How
is
can you
fucking
say that?
Mind-numbing. This is where we're at right now, not
Makes
where
no
we're going
sense
to be.
to judge it at this point. It makes no sense.
Oh my fucking God, you two. Jumping on each other's fucking backs, trying to support. You can sit on each other's shoulders. It doesn't
I
make
think
it
you
10
need to,
foot
I think
tall.
you need to read
Your
Anthony
arguments
Gray's
are
comment.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which one? Take my dog for a walk. That one.
I think he's spot on. Anthony's spot
Yeah,
on.
I've already taken Bugsy for a walk today. I'm going to take her for a walk later as well.
After about 100 yards, you can ask Bugsy if the walk is just 7 out of 10 so far.
This is madness. It's absolute madness. Your logic is absolutely.
Before they've had a dump.
You're avoiding the entire premise of the question now.
What's
lunacy?
the scale rating of if she can have a dump or not?
You can rate each of the signings individually. Yes.
Oh my God.
You can't rate how an entire window's going.
Never asked you to rate an entire window. I asked you to rate the window thus far. That's all I ever said. The window thus far.
That's a bad thing to do.
No, it's not. But I asked you to do it. I asked you to do it anyway, and you said a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's insane. We signed the best. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because you said
it's an
we
incomplete
haven't
window.
signed everybody else yet. I said,
Sean,
what
it's a
you
3 out of 10
can't
it's an
judge
incomplete window.
especially the context of your the context of your question, is based on something in football, right? Which is we have to wait till the final window is finished.
No, we don't.
I asked you. I'm not rating.
Far. Are you happy thus far? My question.
There's no way.
I decided what my question was, Danny. This is insane. You're deciding that my question doesn't
Hold on, Sean. Give Jory the link. Jory wants to come on and answer this question. I want to hear what the Joracle has to say.
Jory,
give Joracle the link.
Thank you so much for the super chat. It's at the very top of the stream, my friend. Just scroll up, and the link is at the top. It's a StreamYard link. Just jump in, make some sense out of this madness, because I'm trying to clarify. It's quite simple. I'm not asking you how the window would look if it finished the way it looks right now. I'm saying as of now, now, up until now. If you still believe 4, that's fine. It's a fine argument. But if it's because you think that it's going to finish that way, then you still don't get the fucking question.
Your question is contradicting itself. Literally.
Oh my
yes, it is. Yes, it is. Sean, listen to what you're fucking saying. Honestly. If this window finishes as it is, it is a 4 out of 10.
I think Danny is right here.
That means right now the window is a 4 out of 10, because if it finishes like this, it's a 4 out of fucking 10.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what the answer is.
Absolutely.
That's not what I'm asking. That is not what
Adita said it himself. Listen to Adita. Go on, Adita, bro.
Adita, before you do, just to clarify for the 1 millionth time, I'm not asking what happens if it finishes that way. I'm saying forget about the future. Forget about what happens today,
it's
tomorrow.
Still 4 out of 10, Sean.
Yeah,
if you believe it's a 4 out of 10 based on what we've done thus far, it's fine to have that argument. But I'm not accepting that it's a 4 out of 10 today.
No, I can understand your question.
Thank you, Aditya. Carry on, please, Matt. Jesus.
So I am still sticking to what Danny said. Even if we continue to sign 2 or 3 players, and those extra 2 or 3 players that will end up signing before the deadline day, those will be of the similar profile of the first 3, then I think it's a 5 out of 10. If it's Hakimi kind of player, if it's Bastoni, then it will increase to 6, 7, 8, 9, depending upon how many players we sign.
Yeah. Spot
But
on.
even if we add more players and the quality of the players or the profile of players is similar to what we have signed up until now, it remains 5.
I agree.
And that's fine. That's absolutely
Yeah.
fine. If you believe that right now it's this, and then by the end of the season it could change. But I think that point has been lost on Kuva and Danny. The point I'm trying to make to Kuva and Danny is I'm not asking them to judge.
I understand what you're saying.
I don't think you are, because you keep saying it doesn't make any sense. So therefore, I don't think
it doesn't make sense.
Well,
I
it does
understand
make
what
a lot
you're
of sense. It does make a lot
Sean,
of sense.
I understand completely what you're saying.
Let's bring the
The
Jorick.
only way it makes sense is if you see the entire window and then go back and say, I rate this part of it this much, on comparing it to the rest of the window.
So you can't
rate the segment. You can't
could
rate that segment based on lack of
no one's ever
information
asked you.
outcome.
No one's ever asked you what you think of a movie so far, and you change your opinion at the end of this. At the end of this, at the end of the
judge a movie based on a section of a movie.
You can have an initial impression. You can have an initial impression. For God's sake,
it's like saying, do you rate a movie because the trailer's good?
Can I have a go at this, guy?
Yeah, go on, Jory. I want to hear
Come on,
Jory's
Jory.
opinion.
By the way, debutant on the channel, Aditya, debut on the channel. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, Jory.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Welcome. Sorry, this is madness, but yeah, Jory, come on in, bro. Come on in.
So I would say, Sean, I mean, I think you're both right. It's always like this with the fans, right? It's both are usually right, but approaching it from different sides. I would say the way you're looking at it, Sean, you're basically dissecting it in time, and this percent of time being done, having the 3 signings in, it's not bad at all. And I agree, it's not bad at all. We have plenty of time to react. But you guys on the other side, the Bun and the Kuva and so on are rightly assuming that we can't assume that we're going to get anybody else in. But to that, I would counter and say we can't assume either that we won't do good business. So I don't think, like, the assumptions going ahead, we can't really assume anything. But if it ends like this, we all have to agree it's an awful window, really. We're well short of the mark. So So that's how I
if we're judging it right now, what we've done right now, Jory, I would say thus far, given the time that's elapsed and the players that we've signed thus far, I would give it a 7 out of 10. However, if it stays like this and it finishes the window like this, I would drop it down to a 3. And Danny and Kuva are saying it's a 4 right now, and if nothing changes, it still stays.
I think it will drop down to 0 or 1 because Conte will walk if we don't sign anyone else.
Okay, maybe that's fine.
exactly.
It will become 0, right?
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Because it is equivalent to signing nobody. If Conte walks away, it is equivalent to signing 0 players. So 3 or 0 will not make any difference. So it becomes 0.
But I would say the way I think you're looking at it, Sean, and that's the way I'm looking at it, actually, is like, if we look at the activity, if we look at how Fabio has been working and so on, and what we've brought in for that chunk of time that's elapsed, then, I'm pretty happy with that. That's a 7 for sure. But that activity needs to continue, and we've now had a really long period considering how strong you started. So I'm gonna get really nervous if I don't see anything in the next 5 days, like really crucial signings in the next 5 days. So.
I agree with that, and I'd imagine that everyone would agree with that, right?